Hi, welcome to another video. In this one I'm showing you what I did for my June layout for my grimoire. Last month I just used paper and stuck paper in, but this time I thought I'd try painting the background. So I've picked 7 colours, they're all acrylic paint, and I'm just using water just to make it into a wash. As you can see, the cats are trying to help me out here a little bit as well. So I'm just experimenting with different strokes and different brush marks, different amounts of water. I've speeded up quite a bit because obviously it would be a long video otherwise. So I'm just roughly getting everything, just not everything, just a bit of a colour mixed down. This is the image that I want to put onto my paper. So it doesn't have to be perfect because a fair amount of it is going to be covered up, but it just gives me a nice background colour. And I'm going to put an envelope again like I did last month because that worked really well. At this point I decided I want to go right up to the edges with the colour, so I'm just using some scrap paper just so it doesn't go through to the other pages in my book. So now I'm just going in with a smaller brush and just filling in some of the gaps. Not being particularly precious about it. And just keep placing them back on just to see how it's looking. And then at this point I decided just to get some kitchen towel and just dab on the paint. And I found that just by doing a little swirly twist with the kitchen towel just gave me a good effect. I kind of was going for, I guess, a bit of a space feel in the way that she has on her dress. So the image I did last week of the High Priestess, so she's the inspiration for this month. This is moving on to the next page where I'm going to put my calendar month. So I'm just doing swirls around the edges. And again going in with just a little bit of water and colour on the brush. Like I said, these are acrylic paints. And just dabbing off any excess with the tissue. The cats are very interested. It's really relaxing, just playing around with the paint and not knowing how it's going to go. I'm trying not to be too precious about it. So at this point everything's dry and I thought I'd have a play and put some tissue paper in layers. This is just a pale lilac. Just working out the layout and how far I want the tissue in. I actually marked it with my finger to know where to put the glue, but then there was some blue splodges about halfway along the page, and you'll see here just where my finger is there. I quite like them, so I wanted to see them more, so I moved it back a little bit. It's funny when you're just doing experimental painting how some just little patches you just love. So I decided I wanted to show that more. I'm just trimming away any of the excess paper now. So I've stuck down the envelope. This worked really well last month to put little keepsakes in. It was Mother's Day. And this month is my birthday, so I thought it'd be nice again just to family put little notes in for me. What I love about doing a spread each month in my grimoire, I found that I was writing a journal in a separate book, and then I just had lots of different journals on the go and different grimoires on the go, and so now I keep my spell book separate, and then this is like a working book where I keep all my journaling in, and I guess just kind of when I'm learning about different aspects and different, for example, working with crystals or working with herbs and notes and anything that's going in there. But what I like about putting it in as a journal and also with putting it in as a monthly spread and having my journal in there, I like to look back and see where the path took me, and kind of discoveries along the way. And also I put my illustrations in, so it's nice to see where the thought process was and what was happening at the time, and socially what I was up to with friends and family, and it's just all nice to see it as a timeline through my journal. Just putting a little bit of gold dots on here. Just played around with a different background, but I decided that wasn't sure if that was working. Had a little play and then thought, no, we'll go back to the little star washi paper. And then decided to do some asymmetric shapes, just some lines with the gold pen. This is the finer pen. It's hard to see it so much in the video, but it does stand out quite a bit in my journal. I think the thing is, when I did the wash, I knew I wanted to add things over the top, so I didn't have to be too precious about it. And just doing some like semicircle shapes coming off of the corners. And then doing a few with the purple pen. I've also done changed up my altar for this month, inspired by the High Priestess as well. I'm putting some, and yeah, just having a change around. So that video is up on my channel as well if you want to check that out. These were some steampunk style keys that I got from, I'm in Australia, from a store, Spotlight. A bit fiddly to get off. But I was thinking about the High Priestess, intuition and connecting to self, and almost like the key to discovery. So that was the thought behind that. And Magic's come along to play with the string. She's so cute. She seems to make an appearance in every video I do. She really is in the way now, so we put her aside and give her a bit of string to play with. These were just some different glitter tapes I was experimenting with. Actually, a lot of them would have worked. Maybe I'll next month try a few more, and I think I was just going to stick with the silver. At this point, just writing some keywords for the High Priestess around the page. It's almost like an art journal, thought journal, study book. Yeah, a bit of a mixture of everything really. Magical journal. comment below on what you put in your journal. I think, Grimoire or Book of Shadows, or what do you call it? Do you call it a Book of Shadows, a Grimoire, or just a journal, or which? I think on my title page I put Witches Workbook. And I definitely keep my spell book separate. And in my spell book I have a page for my spells and then a page for just reviewing how they went. At this page, at this point I'm just doing a little moon shape. It's with a gold pen in between the text, so it doesn't show up too much. Sorry about that. You can just see it in the background. And a few more dots. Okay, so on the second page, I'm doing my calendar for the month. The same, I always use the width of the ruler, just makes it a lot quicker. It's a good size for writing in each day. Meaning not writing a journal page every day, meaning just what I'm up to that day as a regular calendar. We forwarded just a little bit because obviously that would take way too long to show you all that. And just filling in all the dates. I've carried on with some of the shapes that I did on the last page, just to keep the theme kind of going along, and a few stars. At this point I wrote some words, some of the key words in the top corner. It kind of didn't need it. It's okay, but I think it was actually better before it. So this is May's month, just to show you the envelope. Like I say, it was Mother's Day here in Australia, and it worked really well because the kids just wrote notes for me. I said, don't give me cards, just write some notes and we'll put them in my book, and it's really nice to keep. And my husband wrote one as well, so everybody put one in there, which was really lovely. Doesn't want to go back in. And then this was my month for May. And then what happened is I did quite a lot of journaling and finished up that book. So June is now in a new one, which is a shame because I actually like both the spreads. It would have been nice to have them in one book. But anyway, plenty more pages, plenty more months. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you liked the layouts and it gave you some ideas. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Like I say, I'm very new to YouTube, so if you like it and you want to see more, please comment below, or anything else you might be interested in seeing. Until the next time, bye!